Hello, my name is Jeremy, just your average everyday guy. That is until sometime in my early 30s, I developed a spinal condition known as ankylosing spondylitis. It took me from this, 6 foot tall, to this, not 6 foot tall. But I wasn't going to let that get me down forever, so eventually I kicked some bad habits and started fighting back. I still get some pretty strange looks, but I'm now doing what I love, traveling and adventuring. My goal is to show other people with disabilities or anyone facing challenges that your best days don't have to be behind you and that there's always hope. So thanks for joining me, the Handicapped Hiker. On the last episode, I drove through 6 states to reach the Black Hills of South Dakota, where I explored the area and hiked to Black Elk Peak. I left off leaving Mount Rushmore and heading north. No visit to the Black Hills is complete without at least driving through historic Deadwood, a gold rush town illegally established on Lakota land in the 1870s. This is where many Old West legends like Wyatt Earp, Calamity Jane, and Seth Bullock roamed, and where Wild Bill Hickok was gunned down in 1876. Now, it's a great place to walk crowded sidewalks and buy trinkets.
Look at all these vacation cowboys. There's a lot of dang money in that town, I tell you. Forget about the gold in the hills. There is money flowing.
Welcome to Belle Fourche, South Dakota, a small town best known as the geographic center of the United States, after the addition of Alaska and Hawaii. I'm generally not impressed by man-made attractions, but this isn't far off my route, so why not make a quick stop? The actual true center of the 50 states is in a private-owned field on the edge of nowhere, about 20 miles north of here. But I'm not that invested in this to go find it. So let's move along. After being on the road for almost 7 weeks now, and nearing the end of this trip, camping was really wearing on me at this point, so I started staying at hotels a lot more often, like tonight at the Best Western in Hulett, Wyoming. The following morning, I headed straight over to Devil's Tower National Monument. You may recognize Devil's Tower from Steven Spielberg's 1977 sci-fi classic, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. The KOA campground just outside the park's gate plays the movie outside on a big screen every night. I probably should have just sucked it up and stayed there. On my first visit here with 2 great friends back in the early 2000s, we enjoyed climbing all over the rugged boulder fields, just like Richard Dreyfuss and Melinda Dillon did in the movie. But today, I'll be sticking to the main trails. Let's begin with the most popular, the Tower Trail, a 1.7-mile loop with only 167 feet of elevation gain. Devil's Tower, or Bear's Lodge as it's known to the natives, was designated our first national monument in 1906. It's basically a lava plug, left from when magma filled a void, hardened, then the surrounding land eroded away over the past 40 million years. This stands at about 900 feet above the surrounding boulder fields. Now let's do the Red Beds Trail, conveniently from the same parking lot. This trail is a 2.8-mile loop with 442 feet of elevation gain.
Wonder if those have a name. If they don't, I'll name them.
I always love a quick visit to Devil's Tower, but it's time to get moving and continue north.
We got here at the right time. Wow. I'm sorry. Sucks to be you guys. This is why you gotta get there early, folks. Alright, peace out, Devil's Tower.
Medicine Rock State Park in Montana is along the way to my next stop, so we might as well take the opportunity and get a quick look around. Upon arrival in Medora, North Dakota, I checked into the town campground. As I mentioned earlier, camping was getting rough at this point in the trip, and I really didn't like the lack of privacy here. It's one of those campgrounds where they cram as many sites as possible in, and you're basically sleeping right next to your neighbor's picnic table. No thanks. So I'm just going to explore the nearby Theodore Roosevelt National Park, then find a hotel in the next town. Theodore Roosevelt National Park, as we know it today, was established in 1978 after existing in many other forms since the 1930s. The park was named in honor of our 26th president, who previously had lived in this area after his mother and wife both died on the same day in the same house from 2 different diseases. And the day they both died was Valentine's Day, 1884. So a young 26-year-old Teddy Roosevelt moved here to live in solitude while mending a broken heart. His time here and his love for pure nature is what later fueled the outstanding conservation achievements of his presidency. He was responsible for protecting over 230 million acres of public land that we enjoy today. This park is split into 3 separate areas: the North Unit, the Elkhorn Ranch Unit, and the most visited South Unit. Due to time constraints, I'm just checking out the South Unit. And unfortunately, when I was here, a large portion of the main loop road was closed for construction. So with little energy left today, I'm ready to move along and begin the long journey back east.
Hey guys! Y'all just hanging out on the road?
I guess this view of Lake Superior from my hotel room will have to do. creeping closer to home, all I have planned for today is a scenic cruise of Apostle Island's National Lakeshore, followed by a long drive into the Upper Peninsula of Michigan.
On our trip today, we're going to travel through water that'll vary from as little as 10 feet to as much as about 235 feet.
Apostle Island's National Lakeshore, near Bayfield, Wisconsin, was established in 1970 and consists of 21 islands and a 12-mile stretch of the mainland. It's most known for its historic lighthouses and many sea caves. Now this is my kind of campground, a U.S. Forest Service campground with trees between large sites for a somewhat private experience. And yeah, since I'm down to the last 2 days of this trip, I'm toughing it out and camping. Besides, I've spent too much on hotel rooms recently. On my last full day of this trip, I'm taking another scenic cruise, this time of Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore near Munising, Michigan. Established as our first national lakeshore in 1966, Pictured Rocks spans 42 miles along the south shore of Lake Superior. It's known for its isolated beaches and colorful cliffs, as well as many waterfalls, dunes, and woodlands. The Mackinac Bridge, also known as the Big Mac or the Mighty Mac, is a nearly 5-mile-long suspension bridge that connects the upper and lower peninsulas of Michigan. When it was completed in 1957, it was the longest suspension bridge in the world. Today, it remains the largest suspension bridge in the Western Hemisphere. And here's my home for the last night of this 7-week road trip. KOA near Mackinac City, Michigan.
Another day, another KOA. And I am on my way home, my friends.
What an incredible trip this was. 7 weeks on the road, 10,300 miles driven through 18 states and 22 locations, including 10 national parks, 4 national monuments, 1 national memorial, 2 national lakeshores, 2 state parks, and 46 trails for a total of 106 miles hiked. As great as it is to be home, catching up with friends and family, and just enjoying being unscheduled for a few weeks, I can't let myself get too comfortable, because Season 2 isn't over yet. It's time to hit the eastern U.S. for even more challenges and adventures. So be sure to tune in for the next episode, and we'll see you then.
Home.